All right, last week we started talking about subjunctives, and specifically we went over this sentence template, where basically two sentences are stuck together with the word que. The first one expresses an intention with its verb, and the second clause has a subjunctive as its verb. For example, I intend that you be here. But in English, we have another sentence structure that expresses intention. Check out this sentence. We want you to be a doctor. So the want there is clearly expressing intention. This is me intending that you be a doctor. But instead of you be, I've used you to be. The thing is, this sentence structure doesn't work in Spanish. It looks like the to be there should simply be the word ser. We want you ser a doctor. But that sentence structure doesn't work in Spanish. What we're really saying here is, we want that you be a doctor, or we want que seas a doctor. This takes a bit of practice because we're so used to structuring sentences this way. For example, look at these two versions of the same English sentence. I hope that he is a doctor. I hope for him to be a doctor. In Spanish, both of these sentences would simply be, I hope que sea a doctor. How about this one? My parents want me to be a good student. We have to restructure this. We can't say me to be a good student. We have to say, my parents want that I be a good student. My parents want que I sea a good student. One mnemonic that might be helpful is to imagine that the raccoon behind the Ser Carnival is telling you, I want that you say ah. Again, that's creepy and weird, but it's very memorable. It's wanting that we do something. I want that you say ah. So again, remember that we always have to restructure these sentences into basically two clauses, and not use the infinitive when someone is intending something for someone else. Here's another one for practice. Imagine that the person you're speaking to is masculine. I want you to be my friend. I want que seas mi amigo. Okay, now for something fun. I'm going to give you a couple of extra words that'll help you put sentences like this entirely in Spanish. The word for I want is quiero. And the word for you want in an informal voice is quieres. So the full version of that sentence is, I want you to be my friend. Quiero que seas mi amigo. And then we can change this to, you want me to be your friend. Quieres que sea tu amigo. Now the words quiero and quieres are only two conjugations of the verb querer, which has many, many forms that you'll eventually want to learn. But we normally don't teach this verb until a couple of months into a student's Spanish journey because it's a very complex verb with multiple meanings and some very complex conjugations. So this month, we're going to stick to just these two forms. Practice using them in these next couple of examples. Try to predict the Spanish. You want your friend to be here? ¿Quieres que tu amiga esté aquí? I want us not to be here. Quiero que no estemos aquí. So, quiero and quieres are two ways that we can express an intention that someone be something or do something. We're going to get a lot more practice with this sentence template, but first, while we're practicing quieres and quiero, I have to point out that these words don't always trigger the subjunctive. Sometimes what you're wanting is not that someone be something or do something. Sometimes you just want a noun as a direct object. Here are a couple of very simple examples. You want it? ¿Lo quieres? I want the thing. Quiero la cosa. And part of the complicated thing about these words that start with Q is that they have a secondary meaning. They can also mean I love or you love, specifically when the direct object is a person. For example, I love them. Los quiero. Do you love her? ¿La quieres? Okay, let's practice using quiero and quieres in some increasingly complex sentences. As always, try to predict the Spanish for each one. I want your things. Quiero tus cosas. Do you love me? ¿Me quieres? I want you to be my friend. Quiero que seas mi amiga. Do you want my friends to be here? ¿Quieres que mis amigos estén aquí? They're my things. I want them. Son mis cosas. Las quiero. You want me to be with their thing? ¿Quieres que esté con su cosa? I want you to be with my friend. Quiero que estés con mi amigo. I want them to be his friends. Quiero que sean sus amigos. In this one, everyone is feminine. I want us to be friends of your friend. Quiero que seamos amigas de tu amiga. If you're feeling comfortable with these sentences, feel free to go on to today's final quiz in the next video. Otherwise, remember that if you're a deluxe student, you can always go into the flashcard finder and get more practice with anything specific. Find some flashcards that push beyond what you're currently comfortable with and add them to your own personal flashcard set and quiz as much as you need. And of course, reach out to your coach if you need any more help with any of this.